Yo, what up, what up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of Damn YouTube Sports Talk. It's your boy Ralph Sneaks, dropping another episode, coming back to you live. I think this is episode 29 we on. But we here with another episode. Make sure you head over to social media. Follow me on IG, damn_YouTube_sports talk. If you want to follow me personally, it's Ralph_Sneaks. If you want to follow me on X, it's damn YouTube Sports Talk. The link is scrolling down at the bottom of the screen. If you head over to IG, click the link in the bio, and you can subscribe on YouTube that way. Make sure you hit the notification bell when you subscribe so you can get notified when new content releases, such as what I'm about to give y'all now. A brand new episode, fresh content. Yesterday, we had a recap of the NFL Week 8. It was just one particular team that I didn't really get all the way into like I wanted to. And a lot of people discussing and talking about it. But they not really talking about it in depth, it's the New York Jets. It's probably one of the most underachieving teams this season. Considering the additions that they made. We got Aaron Rodgers back. He basically missed the entire season last year. Torn Achilles. Suffered in week 1 against the Bills. I think it was like 4 plays into the game. He tore his Achilles, out for the season. So now they got Aaron Rodgers back. Breece Hall back. Supposedly you added to the offensive line because you drafted the offensive lineman with the 10th pick out of Penn State. I can't pronounce the guy's name, but offensive lineman out of Penn State. Then you added the offensive lineman in free agency. I think it was Tyron Smith came from Dallas. Once Dallas let him go, the New York Jets picked him up and added him. He's up in age, but he's a veteran. You know what I'm saying? You can't go wrong with at least a veteran along the O-line. But they underachieving. They just lost Sunday to the Patriots. So they split the season series with the Patriots. That loss put the Jets in last place in the division. They tied with the Patriots at 2-6, but the Patriots are, third. That dropped the Jets to the 4th, which is last place in the AFC East. Of course, they fired the head coach Robert Saleh a couple weeks ago. They traded for Davante Adams a couple weeks ago. Now, see, it's kind of funny. Robert Saleh gets fired, and then they trade for Davante Adams. Then the interim coach, who's taking over to the end of the season, because they're going to fire his ass too. He ain't going to stay. They ain't going to keep him. I'm just telling it to you before they do. They ain't going to keep him. He just filling in to the end of the season because he got to. They fire Robert Saleh. They bring over the trade for Davante Adams. Traded a conditional 3rd round pick, which could turn into a 2nd round pick. Sent that over to the Raiders in exchange for Davante Adams. Davante Adams, since he's been there in 2 games, has 7 receptions for 84 yards. That's his stat line in 2 games. Now, the interim coach said they were going to get more involved in the run game. But that ain't seem to be happening. It's not the Jets' defense, because the Jets' defense is a top 10 defense. So you got a lot of shit going on with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know why people keep praising the divaness from this guy. And I'm going to say this again. I done said it before and I'm going to say it again. Aaron Rodgers will get you fired in the NFL the same way LeBron James will in the NBA. Let me be clear and say it again. Aaron Rodgers will get you fired in the NFL the same way LeBron James will get you fired in the NBA. So I don't know why people praising this divaness. This the same dude that show up to camp when he want to, practice when he want to, leave early when he want to, show up late when he want to, get pissed off at everybody else when he make a mistake. This ain't the leader. He has no leadership skills. This the same guy that go to the darkness retreat or wherever the hell he go, where he be underground in the dark and all this other kind of shit for so many days. Don't do a damn thing with the team in the offseason. You with a new team, you got new teammates, you got new coaches, you got new everything. But you spend more time doing other shit than with your team. Then you come out, have a season-ending injury, done for the season. You come back, and you look like this. Now, I don't want to hear nothing about, well, he just working his way back, this, that, and third. Well, Kirk Cousins had the same injury, too. The only thing about it is Kirk Cousins didn't get hurt in the first game. Kirk Cousins got hurt later on into the season with the same Achilles injury. Now you see Kirk Cousins getting back into form. So I don't want to hear nothing about he got to get back into form and all this other things. You can do that if you had your ass in camp building chemistry with your teammates. Like I said, they traded for Davante Adams. They brought over Mike Williams after he was let go out there with the Chargers. They drafted the offensive lineman with the 10th pick. They picked up one in free agency. Garrett Wilson's still there. They brought his homeboy Allen Lazard over there from the days they spent together in Green Bay. You got Breece Hall back. You got Braden Allen. You drafted him. They said they was going to commit more to the run game. You got 2 backs. That still ain't working. They done scored 150 points. That's 22nd in the league. 689 yards rushing. That's 30th in the league. 177 rush attempts. That's 29th in the league. 3.9 yards, well, right at 4 yards if you want to round it up. That's 29th in the league. Now they 9th in pass yards. They got over 1,900 yards in passing. 3rd in pass attempts, 292 pass attempts. But they only averaging 6.6 yards a pass. Just 23rd in the league. Rushing first downs, 38. That's 30th in the league. Penalties, there's 63 penalties committed. That's 30th in the league. 567 yard penalty yards. That's 32nd in the league. They got a complete shit show going on over there. See, that's why I be trying to tell y'all, man. You can't be catering to these divas, especially when they're on the back end. They're on the decline. Now, we done seen Aaron Rodgers' best days. His best days are behind him. He's only going to continue to decline from here. His best days are behind him. But yet they look and point the finger and blame everybody else other than the bad performance that they putting out there on the field. You blame Robert Saleh, which you ain't gonna come out and say that, but I know behind the scenes you probably did. As a result, they end up firing him. Then you don't build no confidence in your wide receivers, especially the young guys. They do one thing wrong, instead of you going to them being a leader, being a veteran leader that you're supposed to be. You get pissed off at them. You don't give them no more targets. So you ain't building no kind of morale, no kind of chemistry. You ain't being no kind of leader to these guys. You ain't building up nobody's confidence. I don't get it. Then you got people scared to say something to him about it. You know, I knew the writing was on the wall when, I forget what game it was early in the season, but he tried to stiff arm and mush Robert Saleh away when Robert Saleh was trying to get a guy a hug or whatever after they scored and Aaron Rodgers came back to the sideline. and Robert Saleh was pumped, and he was trying to hug the guy, and Aaron Rodgers kind of stiffed on him off and mushed him off. I knew something was on the wall then. He didn't like the dude for whatever reason. I don't know. So I don't even understand why they still putting all this trust and all this into Aaron Rodgers when the damn Jets ain't even on pace to be as good as they was last year record wise. Now last year with the New York Jets, when Aaron Rodgers went down and Zach Wilson had to take over for the rest of the season, they went 7-10. Robert Saleh was the head coach. Zach Wilson was the QB. Zach Wilson is no longer there. He's out there in Denver behind Bo Nix. They went 7-10 last year. Now here we are, 8 weeks going into the 9th week. They sitting at 2-6. They ain't even on pace to finish as good as they was last year, which was 7-10 with Zach Wilson. And you didn't even have these additions to the team last year when you had Zach Wilson that you now got with Aaron Rodgers back. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they lost Breece Hall last year too at some point. I can't remember exactly when, but they lost him at some point last year too. How the hell are you on track to go worse last year, to go worse this year than you was last year with Zach Wilson? Then you had the situation with Haason Reddick. He was holding out, but now he back. So from what I got out of what I read was Haason Reddick, basically they gave him a deal. So basically the fines that he accumulated for holding out, they basically gave that money back to him in the contract. So it's just like they didn't fine him. Now you did lose Jermaine Johnson, so you really just gonna replace Jermaine Johnson with Haason Reddick on the defensive side. So I'm like, damn, all that for Haason Reddick to hold out when you could just gave him the damn money up front. If that's what you was gonna do, give him the money back from the fines that he accumulated from holding out. I mean, damn, you gonna do that? You could just went ahead and gave the man the money up front, and we wouldn't even have to deal with none of this shit. But I don't think the defense is the biggest issue with the New York Jets. I just think it's the damn offense. It's Aaron Rodgers. We done seen the best of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is on the decline. His best days are behind him. I don't know why people won't say that. I don't get it. Even though Aaron Rodgers thrown for over 1,800 yards, 12 TDs, 7 picks, and he got about 62% completion. So I mean, that's not doing nothing for the Jets right now. The offense is it ain't doing shit. You lost to a rebuilding team with a rookie head coach in your division. The New York Jets are only one game better than the damn Tennessee Titans. They're only one game better than the damn Carolina Panthers. And they got a complete shit show going on down there in Charlotte with that team. Now I ain't talking about the city because I still got ties to the city. I got people down there, family and friends, people I grew up with. I still talk to them on a regular. So I ain't talking about the city. I'm talking about the damn team that's representing the city. They got the same damn record as the Las Vegas Raiders. And the Las Vegas Raiders traded them their best player. And they still got the same damn record as the Las Vegas Raiders. Both of them sitting at 2-6. You can't make none of this shit up. Week 1, the Jets lost 32-19 at San Francisco. Week 2, they won 24-17 in Tennessee. Week 3, they won 24-3 versus the Patriots. Week 4, they lost 10-9 to the Denver Broncos. Week 5, they lost 23-17 to Minnesota. Week 6, 23-20 lost to Buffalo. Week 7, 37-15 lost at Pittsburgh. And then Sunday, they lost 25-22 at New England. They only averaging about 18 points a game. They just got a complete shit show going on over there with the Jets. They got to clean this shit up. They got to find a way to clean this shit up. What the best thing they can do right now, and I don't even know if they can do this. The best thing they can do right now, or try to do, is get them a quarterback that can come in and try to learn something under Aaron Rodgers, because they gonna have to turn the keys over soon. I'm talking about real soon. See, what the Jets tried to do is the Jets tried to get, instead of building this thing the right way, they tried to slide in and get a diva quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, and it's been a complete. They took a big swing and miss. Now, we can't help injury. That can happen to any player at any time or whatever. We can't help that. So last year, he got hurt in the first game of the season, 4 plays in. So we don't know what last season would have been if Aaron Rodgers didn't get hurt and would have played the entire season. We don't know what that season would have been. It might have been better than 17. It might have been 7-10. It might have been worse than 17. We don't know. But what we do know is the Jets went 7-10 last year with Robert Saleh as the head coach and Zach Wilson as the quarterback. And right now they're on pace not to even do that this year with Aaron Rodgers back and the addition of some weapons on the offensive side of the ball and still having a top 10 defense. And you ain't even on pace to at least get 7-10 that you got last year with Zach Wilson. I bet some people right now in New York wish, Zach Wilson might not been as bad as what I thought he was. Looking at this shit they putting out on the field every week here with Aaron Rodgers, they gotta be in disbelief. They gotta be in complete disbelief. So who do they hire for their head coach next? I don't know. I don't know who want to come there and deal with that bullshit. I know I wouldn't want to deal with it. Why the hell would I want to come there and deal with an Asian diva quarterback? Then we traded for your homeboy, and it ain't working out. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to get better, the rest of the way. But as of right now, the New York Jets ain't a rebuilding team. The New York Jets is the win now mode. That's what you brought Aaron Rodgers in here for. That's what you made those additions to the team in the offseason for. You didn't do that for 2 years from now. You did that for right now. You did that for this season. Like I said, it was unfortunate that he suffered a season-ending injury last year, but we talking about this year. He's back. And you only got 2 wins? That's only 1 win better than the Tennessee Titans and only 1 win better than the Carolina Panthers. So if you're the New York Jets, the best thing for you to do, and like I said, I don't know if you can do it because I don't know how good your development, the development is over there with your team. I don't know how good you are at developing players or whatever, but the best thing you can try to do right now, at least, is to do what the Green Bay Packers did. Get a quarterback to come in there behind Aaron Rodgers and see what type of game he can soak up from Aaron Rodgers, because that's going to be the guy that you want to turn your keys over to. Now, we can sit there and, Matt LaFleur and the crew, you can get mad at the Packers and all that. And Aaron Rodgers probably felt some type, he did feel some type of way about them drafting. But it seems like the Green Bay Packers seen that shit and they put up with it enough for the young quarterback in Jordan Love to sit behind Aaron Rodgers. So this is almost like what it seemed like. It seemed like Green Bay was purposely putting up with Aaron Rodgers shit because they knew they was about to get off his ass. They just had to let that quarterback they drafted sit back and learn enough to where they felt comfortable moving off of Aaron Rodgers and handing the keys over to Jordan Love. That's what it seemed like. Because the Packers ain't bad at all. The Packers had a smooth transition from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. That transition was smoother than that shit they got going on over there with the Jets now. So them taking Jordan Love over a wide receiver is now looking like a much smarter move. And it was a much smoother transition from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love than that shit they got going on and going through over there with the Jets right now. And now you got Robert Saleh, he over there with Green Bay. who has already had a stout defense. So, then you get a defensive minded guy like Robert Saleh to come over there and be an addition to a team that already had a stout defense, a solid defense. This got to be some of the worst shit ever to backfire if you the Jets. Now, I don't know what the hell the management is looking at or the management is thinking, but you last in the division. It looked like the Buffalo Bills is going to run away with this division because I think Buffalo is 6-2, if I'm not mistaken. And, everybody else is sitting on 2 to 3 wins in that division. So it looked like Buffalo is starting to pull away in that division. So it's crazy. I found this crazy stat. It said the Jets scored 20 plus points, committed no turnovers, and held the New England Patriots to under 250 yards of total offense. From 1940 up until this past Sunday when the Jets played the Patriots, teams went 756-0 when they hit those 3 metrics, which were scoring 20 plus points, committing no turnovers, and holding their opponent to under 250 yards of total offense. Teams that did that since 1940 up until Sunday when the Jets played the Patriots was 756-0. Teams were undefeated when they did that. But then here come the Jets. They go to Foxborough and lose 25-22 with those stats. So, offensively, they just hit. They look like ass offensively, and they shouldn't look like this because they got offensive pieces. I don't know why the hell they look like this when they got offensive pieces. They have pieces on offense to make them much better team than what they are. The most points they scored in a game this season is 24. And that came in the 2 games that they won. At Tennessee, they won 24-17, and then they beat the Patriots the following week 24-3. Tennessee, again, is a 1-7 team. The Patriots are 2-6. And you can only put up 24 points with the offense you had. And those 2 games were prior to Davante Adams' arrival with the Jets. See, this is kind of shit I be trying to say, man. All of a sudden, Davante Adams' hamstring is good enough to play when he get to the Jets. But his hamstring wasn't good enough to play out there with the Raiders. Now you wasn't good. Your injury history, your injury to your hamstring wasn't good enough for you to go out there and play and help the brother out. Antonio Pearson somebody help the brother out. Now I get it. You had a situation where you didn't have a quarterback. You're going through a rebuild out there with the Las Vegas Raiders. That's exactly what they're going to. That's what they headed towards, a rebuild. They don't have a quarterback. You was the number 1 wide receiver, but now you gone. The run game was non-existent. They had issues on the defensive side of the ball. But you didn't. But your hamstring wasn't good enough to go out there and play for the brother, Antonio Pierce. Because let's be clear, we don't get a lot of opportunities as brothers at head coaching jobs in the NFL. But your hamstring wasn't good enough for you to go out there and play for the brother and help those guys out. Now, you weren't going to win much, but you could have went about it a better way, in my opinion. But all of a sudden, you get traded over there to the Jets. And I don't know from the flight from Vegas to NY, somewhere on that flight en route to New York from Vegas, somewhere along the way, your hamstring got good enough for you to start playing when you get to MetLife. Now I don't know which one of the airports you landed in up there, but somewhere along the way, your hamstring got good enough to play for the Jets. Because you done played in 2 games with them so far, 7 receptions, 84 yards. But it wasn't good enough to play out there in Vegas, out there in Sin City. But now you somewhere along on the flight from Vegas to NY, the hamstring got good enough to suit up for the Jets and play. And you got a much better team with the Jets than what you came from with the Raiders. But yet, your new team, Jets, got the same damn record as the team you came from, the Raiders. See what I'm saying? The grass ain't always as green as you think it is on the other side. The grass with the Jets is just as dry and dull as it was when you left the Raiders. You see what I'm saying? But I haven't heard, if he said it, I ain't heard him talk about it. Why you ain't chewing off in Aaron Rodgers' ass the same way you was with them other guys out there with the Raiders? Why you ain't showcasing your frustration with the Jets the same way you was with the Raiders? Why you didn't sit out and let your hamstring heal when you got to the Jets the way you was sitting out with the hamstring injury when you was out there in Vegas with the Raiders? Now it almost seemed like the frustration you were showing out there with the Raiders was really genuine frustration. Like you really meant the frustration that you were showing because you didn't want to be there. But now when you speak up about the situation that's going on with the Jets, it don't really seem like you genuine about what you're saying about the Jets. It just seemed like you saying it because you came from basically the same situation and it ain't no better where you at now than what you came from. So your frustration, it was felt more with the Raiders than it is with the Jets because you left one bad situation and you came to another one. You thought the situation you was leaving was going to be better than when you thought the situation when you at now was going to be better than when you left. But it ain't. You left one 2-6 team to go to another 2-6 that has a much better roster than what you left, but yet you still got the same record as the team you left, 2-6. You see what I'm saying? So the grass ain't always as green over here as you think it is. They got too much talent on the offensive side of the ball to be 2-6. You can't blame Robert Saleh no more because he ain't there. So who you gonna blame now? Robert Saleh probably glad to be gone. He probably looking at that and said, man, I'm glad they fired me. I'm glad they fired me. I didn't want to deal with no more of that shit anyway. A lot of times, it's hard for guys to coach when the leader of the team is acting like a diva. See, you depending on him to be the leader. But when he ain't leading, he making your job that much harder. Because when shit don't go right, guess who they gonna point the finger and blame at? It's gonna be you, the head coach. When you got the leader of the team not cooperating, doing what the fuck he want, when he want, how he want, where he want, and you know that you can't do but so much because he can just go around you upstairs to the front office and override whatever you say, and you got to go along with it if you want to keep your job. And even if you do go along with it because you want to keep your job, at the end of the day, you still might not keep your job because Robert Saleh still got fired. If he wants you gone bad enough, and he go out here and bullshit around, and you out here losing games, and he feel like he above coaching because he only want a certain person to say something to him for so long, and when he get tired of hearing that shit from that certain person, he want them gone too. See, when you're dealing with somebody like that, that make your job hard as a coach. Because not only do you got to deal and coach the team, you got to deal with this other bullshit this person putting on you when he's supposed to be the leader. And he's supposed to be helping you out in something and taking a little bit of that off you. But when he adding on to it, that's making your job as a head coach harder. On top of the fact that you got to look over your back because he done went around you, went upstairs to the front office and had I don't know what kind of meeting, and then come back to the media and act like he ain't said or did shit, like he don't know shit. I can guarantee you, and I'm not even there, but based off of how this situation played out with Robert Saleh and what's going on with the Jets now, I'm willing to bet that he said something to somebody in that front office and they already knew that, well, he already knew that their team was going to cater to him because they in win now mode. Now he got that as leverage to get the guy out of there because the guy ain't winning. And a lot of the reason why the guy ain't winning because you ain't doing what you supposed to do. You so focused on getting him the fuck out of there that you ain't doing what you supposed to do on the field. Now, if you do what you supposed to do, now I'm not saying Robert Saleh is some top 5 coach in the NFL, this, that, and third, but damn, man, the man won 7 games last year with Zach Wilson. Now you on pace to not even win that this year with Aaron Rodgers. I don't understand how the fuck the front office can't see that. It's to the point now where if I'm coaching Aaron Rodgers, I don't even want to be Aaron Rodgers' coach. I do it long enough until they fire me, and I still get my money. So fire me. I don't give a damn. If he don't give a damn, I don't give a damn. Fire me. And let's see where y'all go without me. And that's exactly what's happening with the Jets. They thought moving off Robert Saleh that they was going to turn this thing around the following week. We in week 8, and they ain't won since week 3. 5 straight losses. Broncos, Vikings, Bills, Steelers, Patriots. That's what's going on with the Jets. You got a diva as your leader. I don't even think a lot of guys enjoy playing for Aaron Rodgers. It don't even look like fun playing with Aaron Rodgers. When it's going good, yeah, it's going good. But when it ain't going good, here come the finger pointing. Don't nobody look in the mirror and say, I could play better. But instead, they start pointing the fingers. Talking about what you need to do, what you need to do. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers probably didn't know that Robert Saleh was going to get fired that day, but he knew he was going to get fired. That's what I'm saying. The grass ain't always green as what you think. And then you catering to a diva. Somebody who on the back end. Somebody whose best days is behind them. It's past them. Them days that you had in Green Bay, they gone. You left them in Green Bay, they gone. The Jets, they're not gonna make the playoffs this year unless some type of damn miracle happen where all the other teams just fall completely off at the same time, and the Jets just catch fire. I'm talking when I mean catch some heat, catch fire, get hot. I'm talking about they got to get hell hot. And all the other teams got to get cold. I'm talking about frozen cold. That's how cold they got to get. And the Jets got to get hell hot. Not next week. I ain't talking about the week after or in 2 weeks. I'm talking about starting Sunday. They got to take off. They got to take off. And I don't think that's going to happen Sunday against Houston. Because that's who they got. They're at home against well, actually they play Thursday night. They play the Texans Thursday night at MetLife. So 6-2 Houston is coming into MetLife, play the 2-6 Jets. So they got to turn this shit around quick. You can't even look at Robert Saleh no more because he ain't there. He gone. They added Davante Adams. And y'all offense still ain't did shit. So I think they got bigger issues. I don't even think the addition of Davante Adams was needed. They have other issues. First of all, they gotta utilize and work with what they got before bringing in Davante Adams. So I don't even think Davante Adams was a need. You know what I mean? If you want to add another wide receiver, yeah, but I mean a Davante Adams caliber receiver wasn't needed. Because as you see, since he's been there, you're 0-2. You lost to the Steelers and then you just lost to the Patriots. So I think the bigger issue with the Jets is just Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is past his prime. His best days is behind him. I think it's just time, bro. I mean, there's nothing else Aaron Rodgers can do. You know, Father Time is undefeated. It just got up on Aaron Rodgers. And for whatever reason, he ain't came back from the Achilles the way that he should. You know what I mean? It's just, I think he is the issue with the offense. You know, when you get a guy like that you can't tell nothing, it's gonna be hard for whatever coach to come in there and turn whatever it is going wrong around. Because if your leader and Aaron Rodgers doing what the fuck he want, going around you when he got an issue, just acting diva-ish, then it don't matter what coach come in there, because they're gonna have to deal with the exact same thing. Now you're gonna have now you turning over coaches. But until you can sit this guy down, and I don't think they've done it. Because if they done did it, they I don't know. I don't think they've done it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody need to sit him down and say, look, this is what we're doing. Get with the program. You know, they done gave this dude everything he wanted. Nathaniel Hackett over there. Davante Adams over there. Mike Williams over there. They added 2 more offensive linemen. They brought them over there. Let him do what he want, come to camp when he want, leave early when he want, show up late when he want. The coach fired. So it's just, it really nothing else you can do. It's nothing. It's just all on Aaron Rodgers looking in the mirror and saying, look, man, I got to be better. Because it starts with me. If I ain't worth a damn, then this team ain't going to win games and they ain't going to be worth a damn. Now, the crazy part about it to me is I done already said it. They won 7 games last year with Zach Wilson as the quarterback and Robert Saleh as the head coach. They sitting on 2 wins right now going into week 9. And they might not win Thursday night against Houston. So if they don't win Thursday night against Houston, they're gonna drop to 2-7. They won't even, or they ain't even on pace to at least win 7 games that they won last season with Zach Wilson. That's the crazy that right there should tell you a lot. You won 7 games with a backup last year. And the coach you just fired. With less weapons last year than you added this year. And through 8 games heading into the ninth week, you ain't even on pace to at least do what you did last year with more weapons. That says it all. Man, let me get out of here. That says it all. Let me get out of here. Make sure y'all follow. Head over to IG, follow damn_U2_sports talk. If you want to follow me personally, Ralph_Sneaks, or if you want to head over to X and follow me there, damn YouTube Sports Talk. If you follow me on IG, click the link in the bio, the sports page that is. If you click the link in the bio, you can subscribe to YouTube. If you subscribe to YouTube, make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified when I release new content. Until the next episode, man, I'm out.